Well, you know, business has to contribute to that local government autonomy judgment, which was given yesterday. I know you've seen it on Sunrise Daily, you've seen it on Morning Brief. It's time to see it on business and see the business perspective to that. And so we have joining us for that conversation a former chairman of Amuodofin local government area, Mr. Ayodele Adewale, in the studio to find out what to expect. Mr. Adewale, thank you so much for your time. Good afternoon.
Thank you for having me. Good afternoon.
Great. So I think almost everybody is excited about this. Maybe not everybody. Maybe some states are not very excited about the state government, you know, because that means that they may no longer have the control over local government. I use that very consciously, the may, because we know how things can run in this country. We can have one thing on paper, and yet we do not really have that autonomy. You've been there, so you'll be speaking at least from a first-hand experience. Do you think this judgment will give local government areas or local government in the country the autonomy in the real sense of it?
Well, it's a landmark judgment. It's very historic, and it will help the local government to grow in accordance to their peculiarities and capacities. Though capacity still need to be improved in order for the funds to be spent judiciously. I can liken it to the proverbial talents that were given in the Bible at different ratio. Some increase it well, some increase it exponentially, while some just kept it the way it is. So for me, it is not just the direct allocation that matters, but one is to account for those monies appropriately well. Let us see it in terms of the deliverables, infrastructural provision and all whatnot, creating more robust opportunities that will transform the local economy for production and for growth. We expecting that would help to appreciate the President and the Attorney General and the judiciary for creating this avenue for local government to have direct fund stream to their environment.
So how does this affect the structure, the working structure? Because some people have said, well, if we really want this to work, we have to first of all look at how the local government chairman or LCDA chairman are being, you know, how they get into power, the election or selection, you know, of it. So how does this affect that structure? And what do you see as the relationship between the state and local government after this judgment?
To your first question, there are two realities, right? The first reality is the fund. And the second reality is how the local government helmsmen are elected into office. But for me, it depends primarily on their constituency, on the electorate. They need to do more by coming out to elect people who have capacity. And the intriguing part of local governance is that whoever that is elected into office lives among the people. Right? So the people already know who you are. They know what you can do. So the people more have been given the powers, you know, to make and unmake their future, as the case is. Then the civil society also have a lot to do, because there is this apathy, especially at the grassroots, prior to now. And civil society organization must come to help to mirror the character and the personality of whoever that intend, you know, to contest election and to gain power. Because I often tell people that the easiest person to deceive anybody in a political interface are those people who are just coming into power. They will tell you, I can do, I will do, and all of that. You've not been able to aggregate and adjudge them. But for those who are in power, you can immediately see what they've been able to do within the little time they are spent in office. And that will determine on whether the people will renew their mandates or not. But basically, people right now must take local government system more seriously, knowing fully well that they are the first responder in a political environment.
You said that because the local government chairman is supposed to be living among the people.
Definitely.
That is how it's supposed to be, but we do know in many cases it doesn't. That's not what is applicable at this time. And the thing is, the local government chairman and leadership before now seem to be invisible, but there are some responsibilities allocated to them. I think things like managing the waste and all of that with the state in Lagos. I wonder how that's going to work. Seeing that Lagos state government, the state itself, is very active in that. But tell us now that they should have their fund directly to them. What should we expect as the people from the local government?
Well, driving to your first question, they've never been invisible. They've always been there. It is the consciousness of people that have not been opined to their existence. I have been in the local government I've been living in Amuwo-Odofin, for instance, since 1978, and I'm still living there. I've never for one day think living outside of the local government. And to your older question is that, like I said, it is about the people. The local government is always there. The people transverse in front of the local government council, and because of the fact that a lot of these local government are not adding value to the lives and existence of their constituents, and that is why they do not have any reason to move towards them. But now that the fund has come and the fund will be going directly to them, the only organization that I believe can help the people, bringing them closer to the local government is the civil society and the media. The more the media tends to showcase the existence and the ability and inability of this local government, the more civil society tend to organize various forums for people to sit and discuss about the happenings of the local government, the better for those communities. Take, for instance, an agro community, whereby all they have is just landmass, and they are getting allocation from the federal. One would think that local government will concentrate more on agric and concentrate secondly to infrastructure, because from the agric engagement, they can increase their avenue of generating more funds. They should not rely on whatever they get from from the state government and the federal government, but they should think out of the box. How do we grow the local economy? How do we improve on the security of lives and property? How do we provide opportunities, right? I would think that local government that are domiciled within cosmopolitan area will be focusing toward more on tech, right, and sustaining the infrastructure they have within their jurisdiction. While local governments that are also bordering, say, the sea and the river will be concentrating more on ocean economy in order to provide more opportunities, amenities, and grow whatever resources they've been able to amass. But there must be a common denominator, and the common denominator is one: first line charge, salaries. Before you embark on using the money for whatever adventure, you want to, spend money on, you must plug off salary of staff and teachers, primary school teachers, because that's the sole responsibility of the local government. You must also be able to pay pension, right? Because in the past, a lot of these local government chairmen are not focusing or did not focus towards that. They will rather focus on some gigantic project that has no direct impact on their people, while some of them will go for huge loans, and these loans are tied to their allocation. So as the money is coming, the banks are taking these funds, and at the end of the day, there's nothing on ground.
Yeah, of course. And we've heard this conversation many times, talking about the allocation. So we see for May, for instance, that the local government had 293.8 billion. So that gives us an idea, of what they have. They say the funds are too small. What do you think, or how effective can a local government be with this level of fund, speaking from experience?
For me, no fund is small. No fund is small. It is what you are able to do with those funds. We have seen people who have become billionaires from just a little enablement of a few thousands of naira or a few hundreds of naira. It is the idea that matters. If you are coming into office, you must come with a program. The program, one, is to guarantee the safety of your people and provide security and enabling environment. The second is the welfare of your people. Welfare also includes education, includes job opportunities, and include other sundry matters like healthcare and what have you. Those are your primary objectives, right? Now, the last front of it is how do I also plow this fund into something that is meaningful so that I can build more avenue of fund generation, not just concentrate on taxes, right? You must be able to grow your economy. You must grow your system. You must educate your people. Because the most lucrative empowerment is education, either literary education or vocational education. When you educate your people, then your society tends to benefit more.
So what are those avenues available for revenue? You said not just taxes.
Yes.
I mean, I know education, all those are long-term investments.
They are short-term.
Oh, really?
They are short-term, yeah. Depending on the kind of education you're focusing on.
Please do tell us what are some of those avenues available that local government can boost this allocation, to touch the lives better.
First, you must look at the peculiarity of the local government, right?
Let's use where you were in local government,
I'll use Amuodofin as a case study, right? I came in 2008, and I sat for 2 terms, and I left in 2014. Mind you, I've had a background of civil society, right? I've been privileged to sit among the founding fathers of this country, like Chief Enauro. I was Mobilization and Liaison Officer of PRONACO while he was head. I was secretary at the Citizens Forum. Professor Wole Soyinka was chairman. I was secretary to Dr. Bekor Asomkuti. He was chairman of the June 12 coalition. So we have discussed on how we want the Nigerian state to look like and how we want it to be. So I came into the local government with my programs, right? I met one doctor. I partnered with the NYSC, and I partnered with the military, and I partnered with retirees in my community. I increased it to 56 doctors, right? I met about 8 nurses. I left there with about 60 nurses, right? I engaged over 1,000 non-pensionable workers, from education consultants that came in to help me teach modules that is required for primary education to some set of core members. I had the highest number of core member deployment in Nigeria. Every core member cycle, I get about 250 core members, right? And I deploy them. My core member doctors, I was paying 100,000 at the Riverine community, 70,000 upland. My engineers were getting 50,000, lawyers 50,000.
And I guess all this wasn't coming from FAC.
It was part of FAC, right? But again, I met an IGR of 30,000 per month, October 30th, 2008. But when I left October 30th, 2014, I left an IGR of 24 million naira per month. So we were able to grow the IGR.
Share the secret, sir.
It's just plugging off wastages. You plug off wastages, you concentrate on the reason why you're there, you have consultative meetings with people. I was giving free health to people at the grassroots. I was giving free delivery. We delivered over 3,000 babies, free drugs to people within the age of 0 to 16, 60 and above, right? We gave free jam form free 600 jam forms, right? Every year for 6 years. Free 500 GCE forms.
Well, I guess the new local government areas, local government chairman and leadership, they do have a lot to learn, because certainly we do need the vibrant economy.
If they want to learn more, if you permit me, let them go to YouTube, right? Type Comrade Ayodele Adewale Positive Impact. You see a documentary that was packaged while I was in government, the first 2 years of my administration of 6 years. You'll get a lot of tips on how to grow the local government governance.
All right, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Former Chairman at Amuodofin Local Government Area, Mr. Ayodele Adewale, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Let's take a break now. When we come back, we head to the market. Join us again.